This next one, I feel like it's been talked about a lot lately. I know we talked about it in our NBA chat that we have on Instagram. If you want to be a member of the R2L Instagram chats or a member of the R2L network, just make sure you click the link in the bio or hit member in the comment section, and then we will make sure that we find you on Instagram and we give you what you need so you can go ahead and subscribe to that. So yeah, like I was saying, for this particular um, thing that I want to talk about, and it's not with the I guess you could say it's the entirety of the league, but this is more so about what has been unattractive to this league, and it's a game that we all love. Um, I'm pretty sure Doug Gottlieb loves it too because he's a head coach of this sport, just not in this league. Um, and it's been talked about on TNT, ESPN. No matter where you go, you hear somebody talking about how you know things in the NBA just aren't going right. So NBA viewership has been down for a while now. Um, the NBA Cup Group averaged 1.33 million viewers on ESPN and TNT, which was 10% less than what it was last season when it was first introduced. Um, it split 14 nationally televised games with TNT averaging 1.5 million for its 8 games, the ESPN averaging 1.16 for six of their games. So that's really not a lot. It's not a lot of viewership. It's been declining just about everywhere. Um, and the opening doubleheader averaged 1.6 million viewers with only 42%, which is down 42% from last year debut with Victor Wembanyama. So with the Alien debuting last year, it was up 42% last year, and now it's down 42%. So that's a huge swing. That's almost 50% less, which is a big dip in viewership. Then the Bucks versus 76ers earlier this season, 1.71 million viewers. It was 2.55 million from the Celtics and Knicks last year. So you had that opening game was a lot better. Suns and Clippers, 1.52 million viewers, down 49% from last year's comparable game. And then that TNT Thursday night game between the Spurs and the Mavs is only 1.45 million viewers, which is a 29% decrease from the previous year's comparable game. And then the Friday night game between the Pacers and the Knicks didn't even have a million viewers. It was fewer than a college game on ESPN2. A college football game at that. College football games on ESPN2 don't really get a lot of views, but more people tuned into that game than they did with the Pacers and Knicks on that Friday night game in opening week. So that just it's then the draft viewership has gone down. It was only 3.74 million in this past year's draft. So that's not only is the viewership for the games going down, the viewership for the draft is going down. And then Adam Silver talked about the ratings and stuff like that, how he acknowledges that it's going down, but he doesn't think it's the game. I beg to differ. I beg to differ about that. Like I said, we just had this conversation in the NBA chat, and you got to think about the rules of the game. You got to think about the pace of the game. You got to think about the shots that are going up. No one, maybe it's more appeasing to the eye to have more people shooting threes and stuff like that, but it's not to a point to where people are like, all right, I could still get it, because now people are just chucking up shots every single game. And then we had a game between, I believe it was the Hornets and another team where they missed 77 threes in that game. Like I don't get it. I don't get why that's the case and why that happened. But then you look at, the ability to get to the free throw line. It seems like it's a lot easier to get to the free throw line now and possibly get ejected than it was in the past. There's more people are flopping. More people are getting put out for regular hard fouls. It's like the game seems to be unwatchable. There's too many times people are just chalking up threes. I think the Celtics in one game put up 50-something threes and only made like 17 of them. What's the point of that? That's not a passing grade. Are we thinking about the amount of shots that are going up, and are we not trying to get to the easy basket? The object of the game is to put the ball in the basket, not to get up as many shots as possible to get to the amount of points as possible. Because even now, I think the average points per game is still not the most in the league ever. It's not. It's kind of sort of gone down. That the object is to I know you need to score the most to win, but we want to see defense too. We want to see people shoot the mid range. We want to see people's skill sets. And they say that the skill set is supposed to be more advanced now, but there's how many people can shoot a mid range on the post? How many people have footwork like Hakeem Olajuwon? Other than like a Jokic or a Sengun, how come we don't see that transition? We don't see more people, comparing the game to Kobe, to Jordan, guys that had the mid range down pat, guys that could drive the ball and dunk on everybody. We don't see that much. We see more threes than anything else. And I get it. You get more points that way, but if you get to the free throw line, you still get those points. 50 free throws made is 50 points. 102 pointers is, 52 pointers is 100 points. That's 150 points right there. You're not going to make a lot of threes. It's just not going to happen. There are too many teams trying to copy the game with the Golden State Warriors, but the Golden State Warriors offense is a newer version of the triangle offense. It's not exactly what it was with Jordan and Kobe and Shaq and Derek Fisher and Pippen and Rodman, Steve Kerr and those guys. It's not the exact same thing, but still, it's a version of it that works, that's able to get the star players involved to be able to score points. Not everyone can shoot like Steph. Not everyone can shoot like Klay Thompson in his prime. No, not everyone can do that. Not everyone can. It's not comparable. Not everyone puts in the same amount of work that Steph and Klay does, or Jason Tatum, or Jaylen Brown, or a trade. Not everyone is able to do that. Too many offenses look the same. There's not necessarily you can't look at certain teams and be like, oh yeah, I know they run this kind of offense. I know they only run this. No, they look very similar. So that could be another reason why the ratings are down. So NBA is boring now, and I wouldn't necessarily blame it on Steph. I blame it on the analytics that want to make it seem like that's the only way you can win, when that's not necessarily the case. If you look at the Nuggets, who just won a title just 2 seasons ago, they didn't chalk up a lot of threes, honestly, but they won because they played team ball. They were able to get everyone involved. And that's how you win. You win by getting everyone involved, playing defense, mid-range, in the post, layups, dunks, mixing some threes, of course. But you don't have to shoot 30, 40, 50 threes a game to say that this is what it takes to win. So NBA, like I said, NBA viewership is down. I don't know necessarily when it's going to go up, but right now it belongs in the doghouse. So NBA, got to get your viewership up. My guy, you in the doghouse. And that